we straight chillin', serial killing, pre-core villains on the mic, got you reeling. 5-star rated from the floor to the ceiling. If you catch a 1-star, no time for feelings. Got a team and DJ on the ones and twos. By the name Beelzebub, so don't get confused. So grab a seat by the fire, roast them all over two, and prepare to hear the legend of the straight chillin' crew.
What up, nerds? And welcome to another spaghetti slasher episode of Straight Chilling, the weekly horror movie review show where you chill and we kill, slice, dice, and chop up yet another horror movie. My name is Bob. I'll be your host for the evening. This is episode 521, recorded on Monday, March 24th, 2025. Tonight we're talking about the final U-Pick of the first quarter of the year. This one was chosen by your boy Vince. The movie is Phenomena from 1985. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show tonight. First up, calling in from Washington, D.C., we got your boy Rand Diesel.
Coming at you!
I like the new addition to the names list. Rand
I
Diesel.
think I've said that for
Okay.
the past month, and I don't think anybody has noticed.
No, Rob, you're speaking, so we're not listening to that. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
We got self-respect.
That sounds about right. Next up, calling in from Seoul, South Korea, we got your boy Soju. What's up?
Oh, what up? It's your boy Moth Mang Soju on the hunt for my moth girl, you know. Some of those moth girls need to call me up.
Trying to get
For a
Ingrid cold
one-night
in bed.
Moth girl.
Chapstick.
Don't forget your chapstick, ladies.
Extra chapstick. How the man likes it.
I've always been a creeper.
Like the
It's
kudzu who's strangling our dicks.
Strangling our dicks is what it sounded like you just said.
Strangling our dicks.
Dicks.
Kudzu's
Dicks.
always strangling my dicks.
Them kudzu girls, you know.
Are we into 3 or 4 random jokes that we're mashing together?
Yeah.
This
Oh,
one's
yeah.
evolving.
We're melding in jokes. This is great opening line shit.
Great starter. Like I said, we're talking about Phenomena tonight, the Dario Argento joint. Big thanks
Phenomena.
to Vince for picking this week's flick. Let's tackle just a little bit of housekeeping before we get into it, though. If you do support us over on our Patreon at the $5 level or above, we got our April poll currently posted over there. The theme for April is Part Deuce. We got 3 slasher sequels for you to vote between. They are Child's Play Deuce, Friday the 13th Part Deuce, and Nightmare on Elm Street Deuce.
Boys, deuce is up. How them deuces looking, Bob, last week of March?
The slightest of shifts have occurred. Nightmare
Oh.
Deuce still on top with 50% of the vote. Second place, Friday Deuce, 38% of the vote. Last place, Child's Play Deuce with 12%.
Well, it looks like we're talking Friday deuce.
Nightmare.
Nightmare deuce.
Yeah.
Talking about something. I don't know what it is.
We're again, Rob, we're not listening.
Looks like it's Child's Play deuce again.
Somebody listen. Oh, God.
I've jumped from not listening back to the episodes ever to just not listening during the episodes. That's kind of my new thing.
It's
Time
your
to
evolution.
finally talk about Psycho.
I am real smart. Thanks for noticing.
Well, get your votes in before the end of March. We'll see what movie we're talking about this April. We're also dropping mini casts over on our Patreon website every other Friday. We just dropped one on Heart Eyes. And next up, dropping this Friday, the 28th, you got your boy Bob talking about a movie called Companion.
Whoa, Bob's about the moth girls looking for permanent companions they can never lock down.
Man, I could make jokes, but it would spoil the movie. So I
Oh,
can't.
okay.
Hey,
Then yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's a goth rave. That's the whole movie. No, I would say if you haven't seen the trailer of this movie, avoid it and try and go in as blind as possible. You'll get the most out of the movie that way. Definitely worth watching though. Check out Companion if you haven't seen it quite yet. Sophie Thatcher, solid flick. Check it out.
Cool.
We do have a brand new patron. We got to give mad shouts
Thank
out to.
God.
Thank God that your boy Ben L signed up on Patreon and showed us some love. We do greatly appreciate it. As is tradition around these here parts, Ben, we owe you the straight chilling salute. This one goes out to you.
Slap my ass!
Old school.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
that's-
Ben sent us a little message. Whenever you guys sign up on Patreon, it gives you the option to send a message, and a couple of people have in the past. But this was a nice little message, and I'm gonna go ahead and read it real quick. It pertains to the moment. He said, I listen to your podcast all the time on my long commute to and from work. I really value the humor and intelligence you guys bring. You enrich my experience of horror. Looking forward to that ass slap.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, hell yeah, dude. You just earned you another one. Here we go.
Oh, a new
Ooh,
one.
yeah.
Just in
Ooh,
case.
Yeah, you're getting best of both worlds.
You're helping pay for that Prada C string for Soju, so thank you for contributing.
Prada.
Man, you really
Don't
breaking
make
the
that
bank
kind of
on your
money.
C-strings.
We don't have Prada money.
That 1 square inch of fabric really costs.
I'm still getting my C strings from the Walmart down the road.
Bob, you got to treat your taint right, you know.
You get one week, maybe
Made some
two,
mud on my ass.
and then they're straight to the trash. You got to go buy a new pack. I get the 4-packs, okay? It's hard living these
It's
days.
The value C
You wear it once and it's just all racing stripe. Nothing but racing stripe.
In this
You
economy,
always gotta
listen,
refresh.
you do what you got to do. Oh, Ben, I hope that ass slap was as good for you as it was for us. Thank you so much for the contribution, sir. We appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
That's all we got for Patreon news. Do you guys have anything you want to plug?
I think I'm clean this week, surprisingly.
Doubt it.
I'm always clean, Bob.
Yeah, squeaky.
This house is clean.
All right, let's get into the main event. We're talking about Phenomena, and we're kicking it off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
Phenomena. Bob, I saw you had 2 of these Phenomena boxes.
I do.
What's up with
Fun-
that?
funny story here.
What's
I
up with that?
bought this. So this is a Synapse release. They put Phenomena out on 4K. They put this like really nice collector's edition out like a year ago, and then I forgot that I had it. So then I bought this standard edition, and now I have 2.
That's
Speak English, Doc. We ain't scientists.
it's kind of funny.
I think you should take that story on the road. I mean, Jesus, people got to hear this one.
I know, right? It's
That's
a
kinda-
real knee slapper.
It's more sad than funny, but I can see where you're coming from.
Look, it's got everything. It's got comedy
Oh.
and tragedy.
Oh, now you listen to me. Now, unbelievable.
No.
Unbelievable. But yeah, Synapse put out a really nice edition of this. You can pick it up pretty easily. You can also stream this. You can rent it. It's currently on Tubi, and there's 2 versions, I believe, on Tubi. I watched it on the disc that I have. Did you guys happen to watch it on Tubi? I know it's on Shudder as well. It's everywhere
I watched it on YouTube.
I shuddered it.
on YouTube.
Whoa. Somebody
Unbelievable.
going back.
How long
Um,
was the cut
yeah.
you watched, Juice?
I think it was around 153, I want to say.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the full version that you found. There is a much shorter cut of this that was released in like 1986. Who bought it? There was a production company that picked up the rights for it in America. New Line Cinema bought it, and they cut out like 20 minutes of it. So there's like a much shorter 90-minute cut floating around.
I kind of
Uh,
wish
the-
I watched that one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I haven't ever seen it, so I'm not sure what they cut out exactly.
I could
if they-
think of a few things.
Probably a lot of the gore was removed. I mean, there's
Oh.
definitely
Hope
a couple
not.
scenes when you watch this where like the quality of the film degrades. You can tell those pieces were removed and then
Oh.
they found them and put them back in.
I
And
did see that in my cut.
definitely some gore moments in there. But anyway, so suffice it to say, there's a couple cuts out there. I would recommend probably watching the longer hour, 56-minute version. This is from 1985. This was written and directed by Dario Argento. Stars Jennifer Connelly, Donald Pleasance, Daria Nicolodi, which was Dario Argento's wife, not anymore. A whole bunch of other lovely folks. I'm not going to butcher their names here. Plot synopsis brought to you by IMDb is as follows. A young girl who has an amazing ability to communicate with insects is transferred to an exclusive Swiss boarding school where her unusual capability might help solve a string of murders.
She
Boys.
thinks at the Blue she's a smart little girl.
Chicken nuggets is good for me. Love it. Jill Mangs, have we seen this movie before? And would we recommend folks at home check it out? Juice, why don't you kick us off?
I had never seen this movie before, and not a strong recommend. Maybe loose, medium to loose, I guess. It's kind of like an Italian Carrie kind of thing going on here. But yeah, not strong for me. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe that 90-minute cut would have been good for me, but I don't want to lose the gore necessarily because that's really the best part. I would say like watch the first 20 minutes of this and then the last 20 minutes of this, and then that's a pretty good amount
the
of
hour
time
of
you've
bullshit
spent.
in between.
Kind of,
You can
yeah.
put it on like 6x speed in the
Yeah.
beginning or something.
Pretty much. But yeah, a loose recommend there. Randy, how about you? Would you recommend people check this out?
I think we're on a similar place with this one. It's no secret on this podcast that I am not a big Giallo boy, more of a Jello boy. This is not this doesn't do it for me. I do know that there are people that are really into this. It's just a bit of an oddity, and a lot of people like that. And a lot of people have like highfalutin opinions of this sort of thing. So those are the people that should watch it. Otherwise, probably not. Probably not a recommend for me.
All right.
Oh, and first time watch. Yes, I did.
Oh, and Bob, there you are.
I'm still here.
Have you ever seen this before?
Oh,
Would
shit.
you recommend it?
Bob.
Ask me the questions.
Have you seen both versions of this that you bought?
I've not seen the American, the shortcut, no, but I've seen the full length 2 or 3 times now. And I'm kind of in the same boat as you guys. It'd be a loose recommend. I think this is not necessarily Argento's best work, but it's far, far from his worst. When it comes to the plot regarding a lot of Italian horror movies, Giallo or otherwise, a lot of the times it's very difficult to follow, and it's like not even really that important to follow. This does actually have a pretty clear plot that you can follow, so that's probably a bonus to some folks that aren't a huge fan of a lot of Italian horror movies. There is a through line here, and there's some familiar faces too, with Donald Pleasance and Jennifer Connelly. So this might be one of the easier Argento flicks to get into, I think. If you're looking for an access point, there's definitely some more difficult stuff. So, consider that, I guess. And like I said, it is on Shudder. But for me, generally, to my taste, it's a loose recommend. It's all right. It's all right. There you go.
Cool.
Man,
So
that
that's-
sucks.
That sounds like a maybe to a no, depending on who you're listening
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's about as loose as a recommend can get.
Nice and loose. So we are going to be spoiling the shit out of this movie, and here comes your warning.
Spoiler warning.
Oh, Bob, you got that Italian plot synopsis?
Ooh, read it in Italian, Bob.
The Italian-
Speak Itali to me.
Italian.
It's too long for me to do it. If it was short, I
Oh.
would. But the
Oh.
Italian Carrie, like when you said that, Juice, it's a Carrie.
It's scary.
Okay.
It's Carrie.
It's a
It's
scary.
a scare.
It's a Carrie.
It's
right?
a scary.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just do it. Just do it in Dracula voice. That's close enough.
They do
You know,
call
as
this the
Why do
Swiss.
you think I have these outrageous accents?
the Swiss Transylvania is said more than once in this movie, so that
That's
would
true.
That's
kind of make
true.
sense. All right,
Say
here
it in
goes
Swiss, Bob.
this fucking insane plot synopsis. Here we go. In the Swiss countryside, a teenage girl misses her bus and is beheaded by an unseen assailant. 8 months later, John McGregor, a forensic entomologist, deduces this murder was the first in a string of murders, including the murder of his assistant. Meanwhile, Jennifer Corvino, the daughter of a famous American actor, arrives at a Swiss academy for girls. At night, Jennifer sleepwalks and witnesses a girl murdered. She awakens and runs into the woods where McGregor's pet chimpanzee, Inga, finds her and brings her to him. McGregor's bugs have an affection for Jennifer, which leads him to believe she has a telepathic link with insects. The following night, the murderer mistakenly kills Jennifer's roommate instead of her. Jennifer sleepwalks yet again and is led to Sophie's murder by a firefly where she finds a maggot-filled glove. She shows the glove to McGregor, who concludes the killer must be a necrophile. Students later mock Jennifer for her connection with bugs, causing her to summon a swarm of flies that covers the entire school. The headmistress then transfers her to a mental hospital. She escapes and flees to McGregor's house, who gives her a great sarcophagus fly in a glass box. The fly is supposed to lead her to the killer's lair and takes her over to the cottage we saw at the very beginning of the movie. She ends up being followed by Inspector Geiger, who talks to the real estate agent and finds the identity of the previous owner. That night, McGregor is murdered. Jennifer calls her dad's lawyer/agent, Morris, and tries to go home. She ends up staying at Frau Buckner's house, who claims Morris... Right? You gotta think of that immediately, right? Every time you hear it. She claims that Morris contacted her and instructed her to put Jennifer on a flight the following day. Inspector Geiger's investigation leads him to a mental hospital in Basel, where he learns a staff member was raped 15 years prior by a male patient. At Bruckner's house, Jennifer asks why all the mirrors are covered. Bruckner explains her son can't stand to see his own reflection. Then she insists Jennifer takes some pills before going to bed. She does, then sees the sarcophagus larvae and purges the pills, assuming they are poisonous. Bruckner then knocks her ass out. Geiger arrives and questions Bruckner, who confirms she was attacked and raped at the mental hospital 15 years prior, then locks his ass up in the basement. Jennifer wakes up and tries to escape through the basement, where she falls into a vat of rotting corpses. Bruckner taunts her, but Jennifer is able to escape while Geiger beats Bruckner's ass. She finds Bruckner's son, who was the product of the previous rape. He ends up having a rare genetic condition called Patau syndrome. He attacks Jennifer and chases her out onto a boat. He punctures the fuel tank with a spear, causing a leak. Jennifer summons flies that attack the killer. Then he falls in the water and ultimately catches fire. Jennifer reaches the shore as Morris arrives, finally. Bruckner decapitates his ass from behind. And then she confesses she killed McGregor and Geiger to save her son. Inga, the chimpanzee, then appears miraculously and murders Bruckner with a straight razor that was found in a trash can. Jennifer is saved and then embraces Inga, and then we roll them beautiful credits.
You can take the children, but you leave me, my monkey.
Dude, I will say, for as boring as a lot of this movie is, the last 20 minutes of this thing really pop off, dude.
It's the saving grace for me, man. I was
Yeah.
struggling through the middle of
too.
this movie. Like, I would say, like, I wouldn't even maybe the first 20 minutes. You said first 20, last 20. I would say maybe just the last half hour, like the last third. When I think when she arrives at Frau Blucher's place, whatever her name is, that's when that's the interesting part to me. I was shocked at how little I gave a shit about Donald Pleasance and how much his character was nothing. He was just kind of nothing. You said, like, you running through the beats, he at one point, yeah, he kind of like theorized that this person must be a necrophile. That's not even fucking true. Like, nothing he contributes is helpful.
I think the movie alludes to it pretty heavily, because I mean, I don't know, maybe not, but anyway, we do see all the beheadings, and then they never find the bodies, and then we see like all the corpses at the house, and I was wondering, like, I know the Frau Bruckner's crazy, But like, was she saving the corpses for her son to do whatever with, or like just for the fuck of it? Because the head is what's gonna help you ID the person the easiest. So you'd want to keep that if you're gonna keep anything to like keep you out of trouble. I was trying to like
Yeah.
make sense of that, but maybe
But like
you
that's
don't
not
need to.
necrophilia. That's not being a
No, but
necrophile.
I'm saying like you don't know what the kid's doing with the bodies is my point. Were they like
Yeah.
trying to hint at that without showing it, or is it just one of those things that they mention and it doesn't really matter because this movie
I think that's
is
meeting it more
full
than
of
halfway myself.
random
But I will
shit.
say I also didn't like understand that whatever the mom Frau Blucher was raped by an inmate. Like that whole thing was completely over my head somehow.
Oh,
I
really?
was really struggling to pay attention at that time, so I think
Makes a
that's
lot of
why.
sense.
Yeah. The middle section of this movie, the second act, where like she's following clues and trying to go home and calling Morris and she's at the bank. That is a
Mhm.
struggle bus. And then, dude, when Frau Bruckner shows back up at the bank and like picks her up, I was like, who the fuck is this broad? Like,
Uh,
because you haven't seen her for like an hour and like
I know
she's
she's
barely
barely.
established at the beginning of the movie. So when she pops back up, I was like, am I supposed to know this person? Like, I just don't remember this lady. So it's one of those things where like characters just pop in and pop out and only matter when they matter. And like if you're not paying attention, which is difficult to do, you might struggle connecting the dots, which makes a lot of sense.
Dude, we
Yeah,
watched this chick ride a bus and kind of fight
for a
with an
long
old
time.
lady on the bus. Just, I mean, about a window being open, and she's watching a fly like get ready to buzz around. It's the most boring shit
Bees?
you could think of. It's really. There's like a shot of her riding a bus, and then there's a shot of a fly in a box, and then an old lady gets up and argues with her about closing the window.
They don't allow you to have bees in here.
And then you look at a fly in a box, and then it's so boring. And then yeah, she goes and sits at the bank, and it's oh my God. But even when shit's popping off, it's not that interesting. I mean, I guess when she's
It's just a
sleepwalking.
relief.
And the couple girls get killed or whatever. It's at least
Mm.
like somewhat interesting, I guess, the
Some
settings
action.
and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Who thought the monkey was the killer? I thought the monkey was the killer. Anybody else?
Nah,
I
I
totally
assumed
thought
it
the
was.
No.
monkey was the killer.
I thought it was Morris because he was the one that sent her there. She said at one point, like he was the one that found the place, and I was just like, okay, so it's probably this faceless producer because it's of course an Italian giallo, which means that you don't have to know a dick about them. This is like the most hint I've ever
Yeah.
gotten from a giallo.
I never try and guess because it's always like, oh, who the fuck is this person at all?
It's a
That's
gardener that
just
was in
how it
a
goes.
background of
Yeah.
one shot. You know,
Like trying to figure it out is almost a waste of your time. Almost every
Yeah.
time. Like I said, when Frau Bruckner shows up, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this person even existed at all. She's barely in the movie.
I mean, I would agree with you, except this one left me so fucking bored. I had nothing else to think about.
Yeah, I thought it might be the old monkey, and I thought that'd be kind of
The
funny.
old monkey.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so wait, so the gloved killer, was it supposed to be the kid or the lady, the mom?
The mom.
It
The
is the
lady,
mom,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though the
And
kid
she
is
like outlines it at one point. Like they give definitive
Yeah.
fucking answers in this one.
yeah,
Which,
I killed
you
this
know, is
person
different.
and this person and this
Okay.
person.
I know she said
Yeah.
like to protect my son or whatever, and
But-
now I'm gonna avenge him,
Yeah.
but I was like, what? Yeah.
Another thing that
But then
made
he's
me
sorry, go ahead.
kind of believe the necrophile statement is they talk about how all the murders are like teenage girls. And I don't know why that like she
True.
can't only be killing teenage girls to like cover her tracks. I think that there might be
No.
I think they're trying to like hint at some stuff there.
Well, I thought that it was like I don't know, and the I just don't know because like this movie
I just
washed over me like nothing.
Yeah.
But I think that like every time we see that fucking knife on a like the spear, the metal
Yeah.
spear,
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
I think that's the kid
the
doing the
kid.
murder.
Well, then that would
And
be Donald. Then that's how he gets killed.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And we,
Well,
but
maybe
we
they're
saw that was a
splitting-
full size adult. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess that would make sense. So he has the reach, on the
Yeah.
pole
Otherwise,
or
I don't know.
whatever.
Like, what? it's a weird, it's
kind of a
weird,
cool
weird
weapon,
fucking
though.
murder weapon.
So
Like,
maybe the kid's killing folks and she's killing folks that might find out that her kid's killing folks. Maybe
Well,
that's what's
I
happening.
guess.
I will say
Yeah, I don't know.
90% of the time, the music in this sucks butts, but
It's
sometimes,
a lot, dude.
sometimes it's cool, but most of the
10%
I like
time,
of the
Andy and the
time,
Sex
it's-
Gang.
Slapping.
every now
Andy and
and
the
then
Sex
it hits
Gang, they were
just
pretty
at the right, at the right time.
Did you see that?
What?
Was
is-
it Andy and the
the-
Sex Gang?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
was like,
your
all
band, right? Yeah,
That's my band. But yeah, like they had like I was like, oh okay, I know a lot of these bands, but it's like I don't know. I thought this for some reason I thought this was like early '90s, and it's '85, so hair metal's
Yeah.
still in vogue, and it
Oof.
shows hard, and it's just not like, the way that
Iron
the way that
Maiden.
Argento cuts shit with music in particular. It's just like the hard stops for no reason. It's fucking grating. Like it doesn't. And also, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. It doesn't tonally match what's happening
It
on screen.
doesn't.
Most
That's
of the
the
time.
problem. It's not necessarily the music, except sometimes the music does. I'm not an Iron Maiden. The Motorhead's fine, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. It doesn't fit the vibe or the mood ever. Whenever it starts, it just feel. I had to like double check to make sure something wasn't playing in the background. Like I just like feels silly. It just I don't know, like an amateur music video put together or some shit. So yeah, I didn't like that aspect of it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I don't
man. Like,
mind
I don't
it.
know. There's something about like I don't know. We've talked about this before. Like I'm just not built for Giallo. I just don't really care for it. And I always think about Suspiria because I really like Suspiria, and this is another Argento film, and it feels there's so much in common, and they're so so leagues apart at the same time. I was trying to identify what it is that makes this so fucking boring and schlocky, and that's the thing is I think that it comes down to like I watched Suspiria, and I feel like I'm watching like a dark fantasy. I feel like it has commonalities with like Pan's Labyrinth or shit like that. And then I watch this, and it feels like just random schlock. It doesn't feel. It feels really pointless. And like I'm like the music actually does have a lot to do with that. I think because it feels like the way studios would insert like dumb butt rock into horror movies when we were coming up, and it's just like it feels like bad soundtrack like shoehorned
Dumb.
in.
What are you talking about?
I don't know, man.
Creed needed to
When's
be
the last
in
time you
Scream
listened to that
3
Joyride
twice.
soundtrack?
So I watched a documentary this week called Panico, which is just a documentary about Dario Argento and a little bit about his life, but mostly his filmography. And there were some other filmmakers that were talking heads in that documentary. One of them was Guillermo del Toro. And to the point you're making here, Randy, he was describing not just Suspiria as a sort of dark fairy tale, but the entire filmography of Argento. I always thought of Suspiria in that way, but I never looked at the rest of his movies quite that way. I tried to like kind of think about this through that lens, and there's some stuff that might feel like it makes a little more sense if you do that. It's still ultimately, I think, way more difficult to pay attention to than Suspiria. But there's like they talk about the winds, the evil wind that blows throughout the Swiss mountains that like drives people mad, and you've got this young girl who like goes to this faraway place, very similar to Suspiria, kind of like you were saying, and she's at this girls' school, and there's like this evil person who's trying to kill her, but she's got this magical power, and she meets this like wizard man with a pet monkey that saves her at the end. It's like kind of got this fairy tale sort of vibe to it, but there's a lot of schlock in between. Yeah.
That's the thing is like I can see how you can make that argument like in a vacuum, but like setting even aside the music, which I think is like genuinely one of the biggest detractors from that, it just does not feel right for that sort of movie for me. It doesn't feel like that kind of story because of that, but also because like he's not a wizard, he's like an entomologist. Like they're using this is like it's like sci-fi bullshit mixing a little bit with super like ill-formed supernatural stuff. If it was all like based around supernatural and he was an occultist or something, then I think it would would lend to that more easily.
Mhm.
But like Suspiria, it's a coven of witches. Like
Yeah, but in
you
Suspiria,
don't
to be
need to make a ton
fair,
of sense of that.
the person who talks to her is what, like a psychologist or something? It's a similar, there's like a person who knows about the witches that's like a lawyer or something. It's been a while
I
since
mean,
I've
there's
seen
normal
Suspiria.
folks too, but it feels like I don't know. I also feel like there's like too big of a spread of characters in this as compared to Suspiria. It feels less centralized on
Yeah, I would say
like a
because you don't
core
sit at the
cast.
school. So Suspiria does
Right.
have the benefit of
It
like you're
feels
in
like
the school
three
and you know
movies
all
in
the daughter
sequence.
or all the students. Yeah. But
Like we
yeah,
never get anything about the like the Carrie moment. It just comes and goes, and it has no consequence really. Like there's a lot of that where it's like it seems like it's ramping to something, and it does like a mini jump. It's like a false drop in a dark ride, you know? It's like oh okay, but it doesn't build tension. It subverts the tension for me. I'm sorry, I think I cut you off though.
no, I kind of agree. I think we like if we had spent more time with some of the other students, like from their perspective, or like
Mhm.
yeah, if she had more of those Carrie moments. But yeah, I mean. Donald is a weird addition here because I feel like you need people more like oppressing her or against her, thinking she's weird or like bringing out some of those aspects of the bugs. But I don't, yeah, it's just the whole bug thing is not really well formed. It's kind of interesting. Like when she had I will say, okay, so when she had that moment and they're all teasing her and there's the glass doors and all the bugs come in and, are
Mhm.
on the outside the doors, I was like, whoa, okay. That's kind
You
of
dirty bitch!
that's kind of cool. And then when the flies come in, come down and eat the shit out of that kid's face.
I was like, how are flies doing that?
Dude,
Exactly.
I didn't
Flies,
even
man.
care at that point.
I know. I agree. I was like, great.
Yes.
Things are actually happening.
Me too, because once shit started popping up, I was, when he punctures the gas line, I was laughing. I was entertaining that boy because it was just so off the rails, but I was just so thankful that something was
Oh,
happening.
thank God.
Yes, I
Yeah.
was just cracking, when she dives into the water and then she's under there. I was like, oh, somebody's definitely gonna grab her. And then even when the monkey comes out swinging the blade and beating the shit out of that chick in the face, or when the dude gets his head cut off, I was just like, thank God.
That
Thank
Morris
God.
is like, come. That was a great decapitation moment.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, from the back,
Oh.
just
It's just like this random fucking fucking lakeside spot, and everybody in the fucking movie winds up there somehow.
Dude,
Gets
It's just like
slaughtered within like 5 minutes of
Yeah.
each other.
like
Did
all
that-
of the action is compacted.
Did that scene on the lake remind you guys of Friday the 13th?
Oh
at all?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Big
absolutely.
time,
and I was
right?
like,
Yeah.
okay, when is Friday the 13th again? Okay, yeah. So this
Yeah.
movie is all Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Something I thought was fucking hilarious. There's a lot of funny things in this intentionally, and I think most of it unintentionally. This fucking girl can sleepwalk through literally anything.
Dude,
She
for
watches
real.
watches a murder, falls from a second story into a bush, gets hit by a car. Like nothing wakes this person up. She just fucking sleepwalks through literally anything and doesn't remember anything.
Those
either.
dudes in the car were kind of cracking me up because eventually they're just like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Were they
Yeah, like,
trying
I was like,
to-
she just jumped out of your moving car. Nope, this isn't your responsibility anymore.
They hit her with a car and then they pick her up and you're like, oh, they're taking her to a hospital, but clearly they never say that though. I just assumed it and I was like, are they
And they
trying
also
to
are
abduct
acting
her?
kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's like what
I guess
is
It was
so,
very-
yeah.
They were helping her in the most Italian way.
Rand.
Uh,
Speaking of that, there is a lot of like awkward shit in this movie regarding old dudes and young girls.
Yeah,
That
man.
sequence with fucking Loomis talking about the bug, and she's holding the bug in her hand, and he's like, "You're exciting him," and he's
That was
doing
always
his
been a
best to
creeper.
excite you.
That was so weird. That was so weird.
He tells her to smell the bug
Smell
jizz
it.
on her hand. It's
you like
fucking-
those pheromones?
It's
That,
a
yeah,
lot.
I forgot about that. That was really
But
weird.
honestly, let me tell you this though. Like, I agree. Like, But I just want to say point blank, like it was kind of even that feeling, which was at least a feeling I could have about this movie at that time in the movie. It was subverted because Donald Pleasance is giving the most lifeless fucking performance I've ever seen him give in my life. Like he is phoning this shit in, or like he just seems like he's not there. Like, am I crazy? Is it just me?
Yeah. I mean,
I
he's
think the
not.
character just doesn't really have much to do, also. He literally is there to explain things, and most of the time he's explaining bugs. So, not, this is not riveting stuff here.
Yeah, but
You
he's doing
make
it with
an
like
old
all the
man
excitement
happy.
of like an actual fucking lecture in an entomology class. It's not fun to listen to. It's not revealing about anything really. I mean, not usually. It might reveal the next like a plot point or something, but even that is kind of obscured. It's tough, man. The only thing that made his scenes watchable for me were the monkey and the fucking disembodied maggot infested head at that one scene that we got
Dude,
introduced to him
the
at.
smell on that head, can you imagine? It's just
I
sitting on
Dude,
his
don't
that
know.
desk.
pit, talking about that pit, that was nasty when she falls into
Dude,
that
yeah.
pit and everything's
Yeah.
rotting and shit.
I pissed and I
And
shit my
Frau
pants.
Frau Buckner is laughing hysterically at her while she's just swimming in corpses. That scene is insane. That shit is insane.
Yeah, and that
It is.
dude is
She's
there and
not
he's
right.
all
She's the queen, and we're the sorry people.
That's true.
he's all bloodied up and he's like, I'm here to save you. And then it doesn't even make a lick of sense where he breaks his hand and then he somehow is able to reach her, but his other hand, the chains are the same
The
length.
same length,
Mhm.
yeah.
And that doesn't
But
really
he's like
help
able to
him
like stretch out, I guess. But then he has to use his
maybe.
With his
broken hand
fucked
to
up
grab
hand,
her.
yeah.
And he does, and
But
it
he does
works
beat the
until it
shit out of
doesn't.
her.
He does do that.
I also did not know who the fuck that guy was. Like it was like, I'm here to help you. I'm the inspector. It's like, inspector, what the fuck? What are we talking about?
Yeah, he also just kind of shows
Well,
up in
he
the
was
third act.
Yeah, he was at the
Yeah.
right before that scene pops off. He was the guy at the psych ward or whatever who
Yeah.
was
Yeah, and that's the first time I remember seeing him. When I was looking back, I was like, okay, I guess it's that guy.
No,
'Cause
he showed up at the
there's no other
house too.
policeman.
When she follows the fly to the house,
Yeah.
he shows up at the house too.
I think that's the
Oh,
first
that's
time you see
true. I had
him.
forgotten that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
But
But yeah, and
fair
then-
enough.
It's like an hour into the movie at least before you see him. So you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, you start to question yourself because it's hard to follow. You're like, do I know this man? Am I supposed to? Who the fuck is this
I'm
person?
like, I'm all for a dream logic-y movie or whatever, but this doesn't even feel like that. It just feels like half baked. Like that's the thing.
The problem is the vibes. Once she shows up to the house, even the vibes are there. Where she goes into the room and there's that doll, she's explaining about her son. And then she goes into the room and she kicks over the train and the doll falls over. And then the lady comes in. She's like, oh, you think this is my son? And the doll's kind of like torn apart at the waist or like all that was creepy. And I was like, hell yes. Thank God something is because even her acting style, she's so manic and obviously unhinged, and you're like, okay, there's something to watch. Not a bus
Yeah.
ride, not a fucking
could not
bank
agree more.
phone call. Yeah.
There was one scene, and this is the scene where she is escaping right before like the whatever the orderlies are coming to take her away, and the nurse falling asleep or whatever she takes that scene of her like sneaking out. They don't skip a fucking second of that shit. You watch her peel off the tape off of her arm. You watch every fucking second of it, and it's just like it's meant to draw attention out, but I feel nothing in that moment.
Remember
And that's the
feelings,
thing.
guys?
Yeah, it's like I got
Barely.
none of that. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
But
this
there are
movie's
the movie has its moments. It's just like they're so
They're all
sparse.
in the last 20 minutes.
It
Yeah,
definitely
most-
needs someone else to edit it. Argento doesn't need to be cutting this movie, or probably most of his movies, honestly. It's very difficult to follow. There is like, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on here, and like when you describe it, it sounds like extremely bombastic. And even in like my memory, it'd been a few years since I've seen it. I remember it being like as bombastic as those last 20 minutes are, but for the entire runtime, and that's just really not the case. But I think I don't know that the American cut is better. Maybe it is. I haven't seen it, but I feel like there probably is
Why not?
like the better version in this movie if you just like rearrange some scenes and cut out like 20 minutes of it. I think it could be improved, I think.
It
Put
definitely
in
could be
some
improved. I
Creed
think editing.
tracks.
It's a minute and I'm sorry, minute. So it's an hour and 50 something minutes, I think.
Yeah.
And like, buddy, I felt most of those minutes. I felt them a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. The beginning kill, like there's some decent kills. There's a couple decapitations. The one at the beginning goes like slow motion, which is a very Argento thing, and then it happens again when she first gets to the school. The girl that she witnesses die. Something that at that first kill, like you can tell when her head falls into the waterfall, it looks like somebody just punted that shit. The way it just kind of
Just
just
tipped it
shoots
out.
off
Yep.
right into the water.
I
Yep.
forgot about that kill. Yeah, she
Oh.
misses the bus and stuff. Yeah. That's a problem. It's so long that for the first couple kills, because her roommate got too, and somebody
Yeah.
before roommate too, because when she sleepwalks,
Yeah, just one of the other students was like
Somebody
running
get
to the other building. which is
yeah,
the end
yeah.
building.
So I mean, yeah, if you just cut out like 45 minutes from the middle, you might have a bit more like really like Brandy said, other than having a monkey, if you cut out all the Donald scenes, probably would have helped us coach. I
Yeah.
mean,
Like it did explain things, but like it was
but
not
not
a
in
quick
any
explanation.
because really if
Not-
you take her being a detective out of it and Donald, then you have this girl shows up to the school, people are dying around her, she that triggers some of her kind of powers that she has with bugs, she's treated as an outcast, they try to lock her up against her will. She tries to sneak out, gets caught by the killer, and then we have the whole sequence play out at the house. That's a lot more,
They could have easily, like, this is the
movie
thing, is like the
type
easy
of
thing to do
movie.
is make him a professor at the school teaching biology, and he just knows about bugs,
Maybe,
and
yeah.
she has an interest, and he's the only one that's nice to her there. But he's also in a handicapped position and treated poorly himself, and he eventually sees like her getting, like he tells her to run for whatever reason because he sees what danger she's in. Like it wouldn't be that hard to keep him in there for the expository bit without relying entirely on it, And then the monkey's fun to watch, but it's like, what the fuck? I just don't know what to make of this. It's just this. He's kind of a character. He like has human-esque reactions to things or whatever. He seems to understand language. He seems to operate and scheme and do all those sorts of things. He's very
Inga?
intelligent. Inga? Is that his name?
Inga? Yeah. Is that a female name or Inga? I assumed it was.
I think it is. Maybe it's a female. I don't know. I just don't like. What does this mean to me? The monkey saves the day. What is this? What am I taking from this? What is the point? What are we
Sometimes
doing here?
chimpanzees just find straight razors in garbage cans and avenge your ass. That's what you need to know.
He beat the shit out of her at the end.
Dude, that was Argento's
That was his
wife,
vengeance.
the Frau
Oh,
Bruck
really?
Buckner character. Yeah, and
Ah.
the monkey in that scene, a little early trivia. Actually, that was actually the monkey's hand with a dull blade. Obviously, it wasn't a real blade, like doing that, but ended up still like cutting her pretty bad. And in that scene, the monkey also bit off one of Jennifer Connelly's fingers. And they had to like
What
they
the
had to,
fuck?
like, take her to the hospital and get him to stitch it back on.
What?
And then the scenes
Jesus
after that,
Christ.
like the monkey was still kind of aggressive towards her, so they had to find a body double to like stand in for her when she was doing
Oh,
scenes with
yeah.
the monkey. Yeah.
Dude, if a monkey
thought
bit
about that
my-
after the
dude,
finger gets bitten
Argento would
off?
be a poor man because I would have all of his money.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's illegal, right?
Yeah, it's a felony.
It's a felony.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Wow.
She's young in this.
She is.
She's
Yeah.
she's like what, like 14 or something? Like
And for
it's
no purpose. Like Randy said, the monkey, it's like kind of there and it's like somewhat interesting, but it absolutely doesn't need to be.
it serves no like narrative purpose except just being a piece in the board.
I mean,
That's
it saves her, but like anybody,
Anything could
Morris
have.
could have saved her.
It
The
could have been
bugs
anything.
could have
Saved
saved her.
herself. Yeah.
Yeah, the bugs, they
Yeah.
built the bugs up so much and they came in clutch once.
But
Like-
you gotta admit, it was
Or
a pretty
twice, I guess.
surprising ending. You didn't see that coming.
It definitely was surprising. If your only goal is to surprise the audience, then like end your movie with fucking like just play the entirety of Wizard of Oz on backwards at 8 times speed. I'll never see that coming. Like what the fuck? It's not
Randy.
about just being surprised.
Any other major points you guys want to hit on before we rate this thing? Silence.
Nah,
No.
I'll get my positives in the review
Okay.
because we
All
kind of
right.
didn't do that much.
Well, let's go ahead and do it. Randy, why don't you kick us off, Mr. Positive, and tell us how you
All
feel
right,
about
Mr. Positive.
Phenomena out of 5.
So yeah, I don't care for this movie. I don't care for Giallo in general. I did find this more watchable than some other Giallos I have seen. A little easier to understand. To Bob's point, definitely liked seeing some familiar faces, even though I don't think I got a whole lot out of them. And the performances are often like they're either completely manic or completely wooden. There's no in between whatsoever. It's very strange to me in that way. But I also like I liked some of the like set pieces, I guess, or like just individual components, like you said, Justin. Like if you describe certain things in this movie, they sound awesome, and there are a few things like visually that look awesome, but they're kind of subverted by like swaths of complete fucking boredom for me, and incomprehensibility, not to any great end, I don't think. It doesn't quite decide to be a dark fantasy. It doesn't quite decide to be a schlocky B movie. It doesn't quite decide to be anything at all. And it ultimately it's less than the sum of its parts, which is kind of saying something for me. Yeah, so those are my positives. Didn't care for the score. I think that undercut it significantly. I can't stop comparing it to Suspiria because I just like it's like the Rosetta Stone for like why don't I like this but I like that, and it really just like it's vibes based, man. Like the score in Suspiria, it may be the same fucking piano or whatever, same lick over and over and over again, but it's driving and it's like it's mysterious, and it creates like a cocoon, like a pocket universe that this movie lives in. You know what I mean? It feels contained. This movie felt sprawling and listless and unfocused, and I was just grateful that it actually led to some like fun scenes at the end. That was the best thing that could have happened to it at that point. So ultimately, I think for me, it's just not my scene, man. I'm gonna go with a 2.
2 from Randy Juice. How do you feel?
Yeah, pretty similar, honestly. I mean, we pretty much covered it. It needs to be edited down. It needs to be cut down. It's way too long. There's way too much boring shit that happens that doesn't really affect the plot. And that's the thing about these kind of like giallo movies is if you're going to be so mysterious and you're not going to be able to solve the mystery anyways, then why do I need to watch all this boring shit? You know, maybe if there were like some hints in there or like it led to the experience in some way of like you got to put the clues together, then you know maybe it's justified, but in this case it's absolutely not. And it sucks because there are some cool moments in here where you know I'm finally interested, and despite all the boring shit going on, I think it finally brings the vibe, the spookiness, the cool settings, some wacky kills, some you know, just entertaining things, no matter how random they are. At least, you know, the fucking boat explodes and there's gas flying around the lake and she's got to swim under it and this dude with the face and the bugs eat it, and it's just, at least it's something. It's not riding a goddamn bus and looking at a fly in a box and like calling somebody at the bank, and it's just, oh my god. So yeah, I would say it's about 40 minutes too long, which is almost half the movie. So um, yeah, I think I agree with Randy on that. I think two is fair. I really did like the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, if the rest of the movie was that high octane, I would have a
Yeah.
lot different experience with this movie.
Me too. Me too. Bob, out of five, where are you gonna rate this one?
I'm not too far off from you guys here. I do some positives here. I like the setting of this like mysterious Swiss town up in the mountains, and there's this evil wind that blows that drives people crazy, and I think that really lends to the fairy tale vibe of it. I wish they would have gotten more into that, and like given that how that is mentioned like two or three times in this movie, I don't know that we needed this kind of random backstory to show up in the third act about this woman being raped at a mental institution and giving birth to like a deformed child, and that maybe is into necrophilia. It just sort of like starts to get into gross for grossness sake, and like I just don't love that. I mean, even if she like, you got to draw the line somewhere, man. It's just it goes off the rails for me in some territory that I don't necessarily dig. Um, I do like the fairy tale kind of stuff, and I think the like crazy wind, if they would have just left it at that, would have probably made it even more interesting. I like the idea of this young girl like being able to communicate with bugs and potentially the bugs leading to the solving of the murder. I think that's a really like cool thread to follow for a horror movie. The familiar faces in here add a little bit of charm to it, even though Loomis isn't fully utilized here. I definitely wanted more of his like, it's pure evil nonsense, but he's a little even keeled. There's a handful of decent kills. There's some decent practical effects. The monkey, even if it doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense to the plot, I think does add a lot and does make the ending very memorable and surprising. Um, it feels like a grab bag for good and for bad. There's just like a little bit of everything in here, and also like a lot of nothing in here as well. There's just like it's a weird mixture of shit happening. Um, I dig the score. I dig the soundtrack with Motorhead and Iron Maiden stuff like that. And yeah, there's like I said, there's some weird stuff with like old men and like young girls. Like her roommate Sophie, I think her name is, goes
Mhm.
on and on and on about how like sexually attracted she is to Jennifer Connelly's dad, and she's like, "Oh, have you slept with him?" He's like, "No, he's my father." And he's like, "Oh, well," just like goes on and on. And then they talk about there's another scene where they talk about like the doctor who has more hands than the basketball team or something like that. There's just like creepy old men in this, and it just I don't know, man. It's 1985, I guess. So
Yes.
I guess
That's
I
a
guess
distant past where
we've come so far.
We gotta
Right.
make sure everyone knows they're 14 too. That's very important.
Yeah.
Just innocent, man.
The movie's just way the fuck too long and way the fuck too boring, and there's characters randomly popping in and out of the movie at crazy times. It's somewhat difficult to follow, especially because it's as boring as it is in the second act here. But, for the oddity that it is, I'll go down the middle with a 2.5. Best I can do.
Alright.
Best I can do.
Generous.
Best
Bob.
I can do.
Best I can do, 2.5. That's going to put our aggregate at a 2.2. So as I'm sure you're aware if you're listening to this podcast, anytime you guys pick a flick for us to review on the show, you are welcome to send in an email or a voicemail with your own thoughts and ratings. And your boy Vince, who chose Phenomena, sent over an email. Juice, do you have that pulled up?
I do. It says, "Hey, straight chillin' crew. Thanks for reviewing Phenomena. I love Dario Argento movies and always like to watch this one every few years." Whoa. You can You can almost imagine his opera movie ending scene flowing into this movie due to the setting. Dario Argento threw the kitchen sink at this movie, and the rock music soundtrack is really fun. Whoa. There is some great scenery in the Swiss Alps, and Jennifer Connelly and Donald Pleasance make for an interesting cast. The premise of a girl who can control slash communicate with insects is pretty unique. I always expect gratuitous screaming and bright red blood in Giallo movies. Giallo, but who could have predicted underwater scenes in a flaming lake and a chimpanzee saving the day? Hope everyone enjoyed this one and keep chillin', Vince. All right,
Vince,
fair enough.
Yet again, we're going to apologize for, shitting down the neck of your favorite movie.
Damn.
Dang, I mean, we weren't that harsh on it.
We didn't go
Down
that hard, but
the
I
neck.
still always feel bad. I don't know. Like I don't know. We
Vince
appreciate it.
I sent him a follow-up email because he didn't give a rating, and he
Oh,
he
yeah,
gave
he
this a
did.
3 out of 5.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
all right.
Even then, he's not like that far off from us, really.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
really.
yeah, that's okay. So he's just like fond of it, and that's totally fair. I
Yeah.
just don't think this, like, again, this genre is just not my speed, man.
I get it.
It's crazy.
It's an oddity and it's a vibe. Something that I think, one thing you can never take away from Argento is like when you're watching one of his movies, you fucking know you're watching an Argento movie. He has a style, for better or worse, and some people dig it, some people don't. It's not the most accessible style, but he makes movies the way he wants to make them, for sure. And like,
Yeah.
I respect that, at least. You know,
All those
That's
damn
his vision.
Italians
not
do.
listening to your
Yeah.
rules.
I'm just blaming the Italians. That's what I'm just,
The Italians.
Since America's turning on all of our European comrades, we might as well just keep that train
Right.
a going.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's cool that we got to talk about another Argento, though. I'm pretty sure Suspiria is the only one that we have reviewed so far of
Yeah.
his. So, yeah, nice to check another one off, though. It's come back to the
And one that is proper Giallo, because I know there's definitely some contentions about that with the original Suspiria.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is like half Giallo. We got if we're gonna do a proper Giallo, we got to come back to Argento with Deep Red or maybe Tenebrae, I think.
Oh
Okay,
god.
well, I mean, there's at least like the killer with the gloves and all
Yeah,
that shit.
it's in there for sure. Yeah,
Some of the
yeah, I
a lot
gotcha.
more of the hallmarks, it feels like.
Let's
Yeah.
wait till after I retire to visit.
We can review that when I'm dead.
Stick a pin in that.
Once you're on your like third host or something like that, then you can cover that.
Or you
Or
can
somebody
just get
saying,
another
like-
you pick, and then we'll talk about it. There you go.
Yeah, you can.
What-
You can
whichever
twist our
comes
arms.
first.
It's,
Whichever
it
comes
comes it comes at a price, but it's not that expensive.
$25 or one of us dying. Thanks for picking the flick there, Vince. We do appreciate the support as always.
Mhm.
Let's go ahead and jump over to the Rotten Tomatoes segment and see what the critics and users have to say.
All right, ladies and ghouls, this is the Rotten Tomatoes segment in which I'm going to have these gentlemen guess within the best of their abilities what the aggregate positive score is for Phenomena. We're going to start with our critical reviews and then move on to our user reviews. The critics, also known as the Tomatometer, have 22 reviews counted. So keep that in mind as you make your guesses. 22 reviews. Let's start with Bob this week. Rob, out of those 22 reviews, what percentage would you say are positive reviews?
I don't think this is a critical darling there, Randeezy. Mr. Rand Diesel. I don't see that happening. How low are we going to go, though? It's probably a couple horror outlets talking about this. Maybe more than a couple. So I'll take a 40 even, I think.
40 even. Okay. Soju, 22 reviews to count here. Where are you coming with it?
I don't know. I'm just gonna assume people are sniffing their own farts and going higher on this one. So I'm gonna say, but you said 40, Bob?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 50 then.
All right. Well, 23% difference between the correct
Damn.
answer and one of you.
We're going high or
That
low,
it's-
baby.
I think it's going high. I don't see it going that low. I don't. Randy, talk.
Well,
This is just
no, you keep positing all the
What is
possibilities
it?
first.
What is
You
it?
got to draw this out. 73% is the correct
Damn.
answer. Soju's going to walk away with this. Not
That's
terribly
crazy.
close himself, but still, a win's a win.
Yeah, I mean, people get high and mighty on this Italian bullshit, so that makes sense.
It's about a bunch of nerds who never had a girlfriend in their lives.
I wonder,
Um,
I wonder what hell ye in Italian is.
Elita.
Elita.
Ella Grita. So
Let's butcher
Let's
a
move-
beautiful language.
yeah, it's never stopped us
Too
before.
late.
We've been butchering the English language all our lives, so we might as well keep it going.
Well,
Yeah, that's not beautiful.
beautiful, yeah.
That's true. Fair enough. Fair enough. So moving right on over to the user score, or the poopometer, as it is dubbed here. 5,000 plus ratings on the poopometer. We're going to go in reverse order. Out of those 5,000 ratings, Soju, what percentage do you think are positive reviews?
I think this is going to be lower than the critics, but I am going to suspect it's not going too low. I'll say 63.
63. All right. Shocked you didn't go with the comedy. Then.
I know. I have a little
Bobby?
depth to me, Randy. You know, I'm not always
I don't know if
just.
it's depth. I didn't choose 69. I'm deep like that.
Everyone says.
Everyone's always talking about, man, that guy's deep.
He's
Did you see he had the chance? He had
We're
the
talking
chance to
about
pick
them
69.
cheeks. He's got the deepest cheeks I've ever seen.
Damn.
Damn, Grand Canyon back there.
Bob, what are you coming in at?
Juice, what did you say? After all that nonsense, I forgot.
63.
Thank you, 63. I'll take the under with a 58.
58. All right. He goes went with tens the first round and randoms the second. Let's see. Do some quick braining here. Oh, okay. It's only 4 percentage points away, actually. I was looking at the wrong number. So yeah, one of you's only 4 percentage points away from the correct answer, and that correct answer is 67%. Soju's gonna walk away with the week.
Whoa,
Congrats
that's
to you.
hell yeah.
Fuck!
Sweet, Bob.
Fuck!
Oh, yeah.
Fuck!
There you go. Well, yeah, 63%. I'm sorry, 67%. That's I don't know. They're both in the same area. I don't like.
They're
Everybody
too
seems to
high,
be-
right? Like,
I think so, but
think so.
apparently not.
Huh.
It's not certified, and
I
there's
told you
no
those
critical
foreign
consensus.
films always get a boost. It's the same with the Korean films. Anything that's foreign always just gets an automatic boost.
Well,
I've been trying to tell you
Not in this country, damn it.
for
The
years.
internet is global, Juice.
For
What are you
years.
talking about? What are you even talking about?
all right. Well, since there's no critical consensus, I'm going to jump right to the most inconsistent part of this show, which is the negative reviews. Let's see if they're funny.
Be hilarious,
I'm gonna read
Randy.
a couple of them. Here we go. Here's one. Worth watching if you're a hardcore Argento fan. Otherwise, pass. Nope. Should have pre-read that. That was not interesting at all.
Just
Um,
accurate.
Let's read one more. Here we go. Constantly skirts on the edge of being something unique and enthralling, but at each turn, Argento turns up the volume a bit too loud or piles on just a bit too much, even for those who appreciate his elaborate excesses. I don't think that's particularly funny, but it's closer to the truth anyway. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. Man, fuck this segment. It's done. Bob, how's that trivia look?
Hilarious as always. I got a shitload of trivia. Let's do it.
Oh boy.
It's totally time for trivia.
All right, there, boys. I already mentioned New Line Cinema bought this and released it in the States 1986, also in the UK.
Hilarious, Bob. That's
cut version.
great.
Cut version.
That's really interesting.
I'm not done yet. It was It was renamed.
All right, now,
Fascinating.
you ready for Cooter of the Week? Let's get going.
Listen to me.
Well, that was a great trivia segment there, Bob.
Bah!
Wow, we learned a lot, didn't we, folks?
I'd be the worst teacher. Sit down and shut the fuck up.
You're not as deep as your boy, so yeah.
Your cheeks, they go on for
Professor
years.
Soju, he's deep. You could throw an 8-pack of hot dogs down that hallway.
His ass goes on for light years, dog.
Light years.
It's a black hole. You may never get
Damn.
out.
That is the void. The singularity exists entirely in the
In
cheeks.
your ass. Your ass.
Boy,
Okay.
yeah, this is a
movie.
deep conversation for sure.
The movie was cut down short, released in the US and the UK as Creepers. That was the title. Also, and this might come
I've
in,
always been a creeper.
this might come back into our conversation here in the next couple weeks. The person that cut the movie down is a person named Jack Shoulder, who would then go on to direct A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge.
Oh, okay.
I might be talking about that shortly.
That's
So-
I mean, good pedigree.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's a good start. I don't know what he did after that, but we'll talk about it probably in a few
All right.
weeks.
Cool.
Argento, speaking of getting high in your own supply, this is a quote from him, and I don't see it, but here we go. He said, "When I was thinking of phenomena, I imagined that between 1940 and 1945, there had been a very serious incident, the war, and that the Nazis had won. After 30, 40 years, the people had wiped this dramatic event from their memories and didn't talk about it anymore. In reality, though, the Nazis won the war, and life, therefore, has a totally different vibe. It's a world where the Nazi order won. If the movie is watched attentively, then it is obvious that from that perspective, whoever made it was working from this principle."
What?
What? I don't see that.
Nancy.
I didn't
Doesn't
see
make-
anything about the war.
Doesn't make any
being-
sense at all.
Changing history and what?
Yeah, this is not what, and also,
There's
What are the
magic in
hints?
this.
what
I
are the
don't-
hints?
I
Yeah.
It's
don't know.
obvious.
She has a
Dario.
asshole.
Dario, is it obvious, Dario? Is it though?
It's scary.
Oh god. It's a scary.
Jesus Christ.
It's that's what they call
Oh, scary.
slashers in Italy.
It's a
It's
scary.
a scare.
It's a scary.
Here, kids, go see
They're
a
not
scary.
giallos. Can we get the term spaghetti slasher rolling? Can we bring that into the normal?
It's a pretty good
word lexicon?
expression.
Can we do that?
How about elevated spaghetti? Has that worked for you?
Just makes me hungry.
I like my gutter sketty, eating it right out of the gutter.
Oh, okay, all right.
All right,
The old rusty gutter.
Argento became inspired to write and direct this movie after hearing a French radio broadcast detailing a murder case that had been solved thanks to the study of insects present on the corpse. Which is, again, I think, a cool idea for a horror movie.
Yeah,
generally.
okay. You listen to
Yeah,
Radio
I've
Lab,
seen
that's
a
cool.
couple. Yeah, I mean,
In 85.
those like Netflix documentaries that sometimes that happens about like when the bugs come out for the winter or the spring or like different things. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
You just lay some eggs in a corpse, like you do.
you know when them
What?
bugs come out.
You know when them bugs come out. That's a good,
It's
that's a good hint.
It's about the war, you see.
The
It's
war brings
obvious.
out the bugs in all of us.
That is such nonsense. There's a monkey. A
Dude.
monkey kills a person. What is the
Yeah,
Because
it's-
if the Nazis
Yeah.
won, Bob, I mean the monkey.
She wouldn't be
have
sleepwalking.
more rights.
Ultimately, it's an anti-eugenicist message. You see, you don't have to have perfect genes to still
Don't you
say.
see, Bob? I thought that
Mor-
was very obvious to anyone who had
Morris
two brains.
is the Axis powers. Now I get it.
Morris. Oh my god.
Frau Buckner. I get it now.
Oh, Blucher.
I have more trivia. The movie's budget went in excess of 6 billion lire, largely on the account of the insects and arachnids. Arachnids? I don't remember seeing spiders.
Arachnids.
I don't either, but I mean, if you're gonna drop a foreign currency on us, you got an exchange rate handy?
Yeah, I did a quick Google. In 1985 dollars, that's roughly 7 million USD.
Okay.
They spent 7 million on bugs.
The movie, the whole movie.
Bugs?
Probably mostly on the bugs.
Well, you said something about because of the bugs.
The bugs were expensive.
Beads.
I could get you bugs for free.
Let me just.
I got a guy.
Let me just. I got depth. I could just pull them right out of there.
I got a bug guy. He can hook you up.
You good?
Let me see.
No.
I read some.
I
of
just
this
got
already.
No. Nah, he's a bug guy.
Oh no, he is not good.
Oh, apparently there's a clip of Jennifer Connelly on Conan O'Brien's talk show from 2008 where she talks about getting her finger bitten off by the monkey and all that stuff. So you can go find that online if you want to. That's out there.
That really just kind of bums me out because that's
a
really
bummer.
like child
Extremely
endangerment
fucked up.
and abuse and
Yeah.
negligence and
I mean, that's one
know.
of many things fucked up about this movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Speaking of fucked up things about this movie, David Murata, who played Bruckner's son, recalled the lengthy process of making a mold of his head and stated that his death scene involved being smeared in glucose before having 40 million insects released on him. No thanks.
I don't care for it.
40
I don't
million?
That's what this
How do you
trivia
even
is.
count that many bugs?
I mean, if you can't
Like,
count
I
40
didn't-
million bugs, what are you doing with your
You go
life?
2.
My bug
going
guy
with that.
said that that's not realistic.
He charged him for 40 million bugs, but there was like 2,000 probably.
He's just
Argento,
counting
I'm
that-
telling you,
counting
there's
those liars.
millions.
It's going to cost you 5 trillion liars. That's all I got to say. There's a lot of bugs. I'm your bug guy. Sargento.
Oh, you gotta find a
listen.
trustworthy bug guy, Dario. Come on.
It's hard
No
to find
great
a
bug
good
guys.
one. I still haven't found a good one yet, so you know.
Oh, when you're
But I got
fighting,
'em.
you gotta hold on. You gotta sink your claws in and never let go.
When you get a bug guy, you can't let him
You
go.
gotta-
Ooh, buddy.
you gotta
Good or
just-
bad, you just gotta hold on to your bug guy.
You gotta capture him.
got a
and,
bug guy
hold him
for
hostage.
life, you know.
You gotta. It's like a marriage, is what it is. It's after Phenomena,
Oh,
Daria Nicolodi, not Nickelodeon, Nickelodi probably repudiated the film. This was Argento's ex-wife. They were married at the time of making this movie. She said the movie was reactionary on account of its portrayal of handicapped people and stated on an interview that she would no longer work with her husband. They later divorced, but would work together again 2 years later on Opera. So she's a liar.
Then they're not gonna.
That's fucking confusing on so many levels.
Yeah.
Like I could see reactionary seems like a weird term.
Yeah, maybe
for
there's a weird translation
ableism
error
or some shit. I don't know,
or
maybe,
something.
yeah. But
Yeah.
it is reactionary apparently because it's a Nazi environment. I don't know, like it's apparently
I don't know,
a
man.
Nazi world that they're
Oh,
living in.
boy.
So I guess it's
Oh,
reactionary in that way,
boy.
arguably.
Oh boy.
To give further context to this movie, you may or may not remember this plot beat because they say it and it means nothing to the actual movie. So Jennifer Connelly is telling, I believe, her roommate about how on Christmas Day her mother got a phone call from her mother's lover and left the family on Christmas Day and never came back. And apparently that did actually happen to Argento when he was a boy.
That sucks.
Okay.
Sorry,
Bummer.
Dari.
But it's still about the war.
That's yeah.
She's got the war in her.
She do.
Good God. man.
This is about video games. You guys maybe have heard of this. I never heard of this. So Japanese video game developer Hifumi Kono created his video game Clock Tower from 1995 using many ideas from this movie.
Oh, okay.
I've never heard of that.
I have. It's the one. I think it's the one. A famous thing is the dude's got the scissors. He's got these giant pair of scissors. I think.
Oh, really?
If I'm thinking
that
of
sounds
that.
more like Exorcist 3.
I think if I'm thinking of the right game,
The first
and he can cut you
kill,
in half.
the first kill is a scissor kill, though. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's true. There are
So
scissors involved.
it's not
Yeah,
a
it does look like
scissor-less
it's a PlayStation
movie.
game.
I don't know. Japanese
Soju?
creator.
I can't remember where originally. Oh yeah, it is the dude with the scissors. Yep. I'm thinking of the right thing.
All
Yep.
right. No, I've never heard of this. That's
It's a
interesting.
game filled with scissors.
Scissor me timbers.
I mean,
Scissor.
it
me
worked
timbers.
for old Ed.
This is the last bit of trivia I have here. So we mentioned the
already?
evil. I know. I'm so sorry to cut it short on y'all. We mentioned the evil wind that blows in the Alps. It's a real thing in it's a real thing in Swiss folklore, Randy.
Oh, it's
with
so
your bumps.
refreshing.
It's a real thing in this bedroom too.
God damn. Just ripping evil ass. It'll
An
make
evil
you
wind
crazy. Randy, if you don't stop shitting the bed, I'm gonna go fucking nuts. Okay. So yeah, it's a real thing called the Fern sickness, which is spelled Foehn. Fern sickness, or the fern wind, which causes the fern sickness. It's a thing that they really talk about in Switzerland, and it's linked to various health issues, including headaches, depression, anxiety, even increased crime rates. And it's led to the concept of the fern sickness or the Fernkrankheit, where people attribute negative symptoms to the wind's influence. Imps or evil spirits are sometimes said to ride the fern winds. And something that I just, like, after I read that, I was like, oh, well, maybe that's why he chose the killer to be a small person. Like, maybe that was some sort of an influence or something. I don't know that to be true or not, but there you go.
Yeah,
Trivia.
just blame it on the old fern winds. Yeah, you know.
Randy's tearing ass again through the Swiss Alps, driving
That
everybody
old
crazy.
fern wind.
Oh shit!
The fern winds filling the house again.
They're blowing again.
The fern wind blows.
Somebody must have ate gutter sketty for dinner. I see it every day.
This is the depth we're talking about.
I'm a
people.
deep
Come on.
guy. What?
Perfect for the fern wind to blow through the castle.
Oh Lord.
Oh man, that's all the
The
trivia
fuck is
I
that?
got. We're talking Cooter of the Week next.
Straight chillin'. Gooder of the week.
Juice, what is a cooter and why do we hunt them?
Oh, talking about depth. Cooter is a character type and a straight chillin' exclusive. Cooter has to hit 3 of these 5 points to be considered a cooter, but we want the cooter with the most points. The 5 points of cooterdom are sexual deviance, manipulation, smug arrogance, overall looking attire, and overall patheticness, boys. I think we got some cooters here, at least one for sure.
I mean, the movie feels filled to the brim with cooters, but I'm not
It
sure.
does.
I'm not sure we can define the points on most of them. Where do we want to start?
Mm.
I don't know. What do you got in mind,
We can
Juice?
start-
I fucking no
Well,
idea.
I was thinking about old Donald. Maybe the sexual deviance thing is kind of weird with the bugs.
Smell it.
It's pretty weird.
bugs.
It's kind of weird. To be honest.
bugs.
You make an old man happy.
Oh God.
I wish he had performed it that way. I really do.
I'm an actor.
Yeah. In the bedroom.
There's a lot of nefarious things happening in the bedroom in this conversation.
So okay, let's go with the main woman. So she is manipulating people.
For sure.
There might be some sexual deviance going on based on Rob's theory of necrophilia.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure I buy it, but maybe.
Smug arrogance.
I mean,
Yeah, she's laughing her ass off when she falls into the death pit, the corpse pit at the end.
Yeah, she is getting some
but-
enjoyment out of this.
But I don't know. Is that arrogance or is it just like gleeful psychosis?
She's just
Like,
having a laugh. She's
just having me a good laugh.
just
I just
enjoying
saw
her time.
Seinfeld. It's a real good show.
It's the physical humor that really gets her, hits her funny bone, you know.
Looking
I
at
love
Tyre.
that Newman.
What about that dude with the fucked up face?
God damn. That is a real
The man
syndrome,
in the
by
Iron
way.
Mask.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of fucked
Yeah.
up actually. Like the ape, like the the concerns about the way the disabled are treated are not invalid in this movie.
Pat-
Oh, the
Patel,
cooter is Argento, you're saying.
I
Patel
kind of think it
syndrome.
might be.
And so I meant to say this during it's called Patel syndrome. It happens. It's a condition when you have an extra chromosome 13, and it leads to cleft lip. Just anything that you could possibly think that
It's
might
not
go
like
wrong
what they
could
did,
go wrong.
though.
It's,
Like,
No,
it's,
yeah, I don't.
it's a bunch
I
of rough
know,
stuff.
like-
Anyway,
I mean, I've known like people with craniofacial disorders or things like that, and it's
Sure,
fucking-
yeah.
that's a tough world for that shit. So like,
Yeah.
it just feels like a cheap shot to me to take a real
I
world
agree.
issue and do this with it.
it's totally unnecessary for the plot of the movie too. It's just like let's make
Right.
it fucked up. you know?
Yeah.
And
Somebody with a face
feels-
that's fucked up. Well, okay, then make it like a fucking like a monster, or like make it like something that's not
Yeah.
based in
Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
real. Like,
It's just, yeah, it's kind of shit. It's kind of shit. Maybe Argento.
Argento is the cooter.
He's letting people get their fingers
Right?
bitten off. He wrote this thing.
He's sexualizing
Yeah,
14
dude.
years old, 14-year-old kids.
14
I
years.
think-
old.
I think this is where we gotta go, buddy. Like, Jesus Christ, patheticness. His own wife wouldn't work with him after this because he was so shit.
Can't even keep your
Towards
own
people.
wife.
Smug arrogance. It's not even. It's not about the war,
Okay,
Dario.
you put it that way, it's kind of a cruel thing for me to say. But
Must be a real loser to lose your
Anything.
mom and your wife, right?
God damn,
Your mom.
you're really beating him off with a stick, aren't you, buddy?
No
beating them
wonder
off.
your mom left you. I
Really
mean, your
beating him
wife.
off.
God damn. This is mean now. I think
Yeah,
we're the
getting to it.
cooters
We're-
now.
I think he's turned us into the cooters now.
Let's lock ourselves
We're
up,
the
boys.
cooters now.
I've said it, and now it is known.
We've become
I'm
what
ready to
we
lock him
hate.
up.
Yeah, it's the whole movie and it's everything.
It's the
a
whole
cooter.
movie and everything.
It's a cooter movie. I don't know. Everything but the
movie is a
monkey.
cooter
I
in real
guess.
life.
I don't know.
Yeah,
the
the monkey's
monkey's solid.
rescuable.
Monkey's just being a monkey. I guess.
Just having a good time, you know.
Connolly's fine. Like she's just kind of doing her thing, getting
Yeah,
shit on
yeah.
because she speaks to bugs or whatever.
Yeah, that roommate talking about banging that chick's dad, that was weird.
And she's just like, haha, I know, whatever. Like, she's
Yeah,
very
my
cool
dad.
about it for some reason. Yeah, you know,
She was
people wanna
like-
fuck my dad. It's fine.
When she's like, I wouldn't sleep at all if I was thinking about your dad. It's like, damn.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. The less said about that, the better.
I'm just gonna be rubbing one out over here thinking about your dad.
I said the less said, the better. Jesus Christ.
Well, excuse me, Mr. Man.
Oh,
Wait, let's move on from that.
he's turned us into the cooters now.
Oh,
Okay,
my God.
yeah, it's all. I don't know. I just don't want to talk about it anymore. It's weird. Let's talk about what we've been watching this week.
Hey, let's do that.
Hey, gang, what you been watching?
Randy, what you been watching?
Yeah, I'm pretty far behind, so I'm gonna kind of speed round a few things due to missing that week, and skipping a couple weeks. Been slowly working my way through Righteous Gemstones finally, and it's a very fun show with a lot more going for it. A lot more it's a lot more action and plot oriented than I expected it to be. You know.
How far
But I'm
into it
enjoying it
are
quite a-
you?
Started season 3. I might be 2 episodes into season 3 at this point.
Nice.
So enjoying it. Really love BJ. BJ for life.
Dude, yeah, BJ and the sister is my favorite. I'm
The
blanking-
sister,
blanking
like
on
that
her name.
couple, like the shit that she says is
I know.
ungodly. Like, and I don't mean that as a pun. It is just like it is
I
out
feel
there, buddy.
I feel like in real life she's the only person that could make Danny McBride blush. Like she says some
Probably
crazy
true.
shit. Yeah.
I wish I can't even like conjure what she says because it happens so quickly.
Yeah.
She's just like rapid fires some shit that you have never heard in your life. Good shit. Rewatched 28 Days Later, and buddy, I really like that movie. I was sour on it the time I watched it prior because like it was filmed digitally and it really shows, and I don't like the look of it, and for that reason. But those performances are still great. And it's just still a really great movie. I finally watched In the Tall Grass, which was all right. It wasn't bad. Not a lot to say about it. Severance finished up season 2, and that show keeps fucking delivering. I do not want to say a single another word about it for fear that I spoil anything, because Lord knows the internet's trying to do that, and like there's a lot of coverage of this show right now. Bob, I know you haven't watched it, and I've like basically twisted your arm to go watch it, so I'm gonna keep
Yeah,
twisting.
I'm gonna start it as soon as I get a chance. I want to start it, but yeah, I've heard nothing but great things. But I don't know anything about it yet, so I've avoided spoilers
Good.
so far.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Just don't look at any interviews with Adam Scott or anything like that, because like it's in the zeitgeist now, and
Yeah.
they're referencing shit that you shouldn't know about probably. Um, Great show. Probably it's right up there with Lost for me right now in the mystery drama shows
Nice.
pantheon. Yes. Watched Mickey 17. Very strange movie. I enjoyed it, but I kind of don't know what to make of it. I really like Pattinson's vocal work in that. He has a really fun accent. A really fun, like, I don't know. I guess it's an accent. He does like he has like this weird vocal fry. Like he sound. I guess I did hear that he based his vocals on the characters of Ren and Stimpy, and that clicked so hard when I was like, yeah, that's right. It does kind of sound like that.
Hmm.
It's just kind of like fun and like, I don't know. It's tough to describe, but it's a strange movie. I enjoyed it, but not as much as as Bong Joon-ho's other movies. Um, anyway, um, Opus. I watched Opus, and there is a mini cast coming out about that at some point, or did it already? I don't remember.
No, probably sometime in April.
Okay. I didn't think so. I did watch that, so I'll reserve judgment on that. Be a patron and listen to my thoughts on that movie. I watched Adolescence, the new Netflix mini limited series. It's a 4-episode limited series. I cannot recommend this show enough. It is an achievement of a show in terms of like craft and in terms of performances. It is fucking incredible. It is also a significant bummer of a show. So know that going in. It's only 4 episodes. Just the selling point that is easy for me to give because people love this shit, including myself. Every episode is kind of a self-contained a story where like it doesn't. Not every episode focuses on the same characters. It kind of jumps around between characters in this overall overarching story, and every episode is a single take. Just one take for like 45 minutes to an hour, maybe more. It's good. It's a damn good show. And seriously, I cannot speak highly enough about the performances. Maybe there's a couple of like all-timer performances in there, but one of them might be the best performance I've seen this year. Like it's pretty. I don't know if I can conjure another person that can compete with it. Anyway, great show. Very sad. And then I watched a couple of shows this weekend. I went to a couple like gigs. Watched a couple local bands. One is Kill Lincoln, the ska band here in DC, who I like just really love. I loved watching them, and getting a little ska music in. Apparently, there's ska nights in parts of the city that I wasn't aware of that I got wind of. So I'm gonna be going to more ska shows.
Burn wind of it.
Fern wind blows.
Mm.
And then caught Bad Moves for like maybe the 6th time. I really love them, like power pop punk sort of thing. For those who don't know, and they're calling it quits pretty soon. So yeah,
Bummer.
I was happy to. I think I'm going to get to catch them at least one more time in town here because they are local here. But I think by mid midsummer they're calling it a day and hanging it up. So I'm getting it in while I
Nothing
can.
lasts forever.
Really enjoy those pins. Nothing lasts forever.
Not
That's
even
for
this
damn sure.
podcast, you know.
No, this does last forever.
Oh yeah,
This
I
is going.
forgot.
This
It's
we're gonna
just-
put this. We're gonna
Them
put this on the
cheeks
International
last
Space
forever.
Station. So, and blast it out into space for eternity. Yeah, that's it for me.
Cool. Juice, what you
who's
been
up?
watching?
I've been traveling, so I've been watching some hotel movies. You know how that goes. One of them.
Porn.
One of them was Demolition
Shark
Man.
Tank on repeat.
Demolition
hell
Man
yeah.
was on.
Do you learn how to use the 3 seashells?
yeah, Korean hotel television. So I watched that. That movie is wacky, crazy. When did that come out? Early 90s, right?
It's like
Oh,
I wanna say
93, yeah.
95.
In 93.
93?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's absolutely ridiculous and kind of potent for today's age in some aspects. Some things going on there.
Yeah, those fucking fast food wars are killing us.
Yeah. Taco Bell fine dining. Apparently, fast food is really expensive in America these days. In Korea, it's still cheap as it's supposed to be.
They're putting fucking sandwiches on layaway here now, buddy. It's
What?
fucked. It is fucked. Anyway,
Oh my
we
God.
don't need to talk about that.
Okay. Well, anyways, I watched Demolition Man. Another one was The Mask, which that movie's a lot of fun.
It is.
I like watching The Mask. And another one was a movie I had never seen before that had Jason Statham and Aubrey Plaza in it. I think it's called Operation Fortune. I just looked it up real quick. It's also directed by Guy Ritchie. Oh, I had no
Damn.
idea. Okay.
Wow,
Ooh.
he's one of your boys, or at least was. at one point.
Yeah, it had Hugh Grant in it too. It was kind of like a spy movie, spy-esque movie. Not that great for a Guy Ritchie. I didn't realize he directed it. That's kind of
He's
a
been
bummer.
making some shit movies. to be
Yeah, what
honest.
happened to him? He used to
I
be
don't
good.
know.
Even you know what, people, I like those Sherlock Holmes movies. I mean, for kind of what they are, but yeah, he kind of dropped off there, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's too bad. Well, I didn't realize he had directed it. And then I have also been watching and finished Severance season 2. And I liked it, but I'm gonna hold on to my thoughts because I think I'm gonna do a mini cast on that one. I did Severance season 1 mini cast, so I wanted to kind of follow that up and keep that going in our Patreon catalog. So yeah, that'll be dropping eventually. I think we got quite a few movies recorded at this point, so it might be a little while, but it'll be coming out in a mini
All right.
cast form. But that's it. That's all I've been watching. Bob, what you been watching, my guy?
Cool. I saw some live comedy this past week. Friend of the show, Ed Larson, was in town. He joined us on our Signs review. Yeah.
He's like one of our best friends.
We are
Yeah.
best friends now. He crashed at the house. I made him some tiki drinks. It was a good time. We fried some gator tail. It was crazy.
What the fuck?
Self-caught. Found him in my swimming pool.
Dude, one of my coworkers catches gator.
I believe that.
For sure. So,
I
Ed
Could
Larson
not
was
be
in town.
convinced not to believe that.
And he stopped by the Comedy Zone and he was doing like a Florida tour, and most of it was Florida-based humor. And it was a lot of fun. He was in town here in Jacksonville on a Thursday night, and it was like a sold-out audience.
Cool.
It was really actually funny. To be totally honest, I'd never seen his stand-up before, so I was like, man, I hope I find him funny. I don't know.
Son
was very
of a
funny.
bitch.
It was very funny. So
How many straight chilling jokes did he have? How many straight chilling jokes?
He had a tight 5 on straight chilling.
salt jokes they make. You make the Fernwind joke.
I'm
Like that joke.
wasted.
Yeah, 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever. I think he's got a couple dates left on his Florida tour, so check him out. And I think we're going to try and have him back on the show sometime in April too.
Nice.
So that was a lot of fun. Also, as far as movies go, I revisited Men in Black. Hadn't seen that in a few years. That movie really holds up. It's like a lot of fun, great cast. A lot of the effects hold up. Some of the CG is pretty dated for sure, but it's just like a great idea for a movie. And I feel like I forget every time I put this on, but it's based on a Marvel comic property.
Mm-hmm.
I always forget that. That's awesome.
I would love to cover that on this show.
I think we should.
should.
Yeah, I was thinking that when I was watching it, honestly. It fits. So
We
maybe one
are
day
hosting an intergalactic kicker.
we are on this show. Men in Black still holds up, in my opinion. I watched a new Shudder release called Bloody Axe Wound, and the meta slasher subgenre has been beaten to fucking death. And this brings nothing new. I was bored out of my mind watching this movie.
Oh God.
Don't recommend it.
Drag.
I don't recommend it. Sorry. Good movies. So I watched a new release. This is all I got actually. This is my last one. Novocaine. Went to theater to watch Novocaine, and definitely a great popcorn movie. There's a ton of action and like some pretty gnarly gore. Actually, they kind of take the premise of the movie about as far as you can take it, I guess. Jack Quaid does a great job as a leading man. What's her Amber Midthunder, I think is her name. The actress
Oh,
from
she in that
Prey.
too?
Yeah, she's the female lead in the movie, and she does a great
Weird.
fucking job too.
She's in Opus as well, but not a big role. But
Oh, is she? Damn, I gotta
Yeah.
catch that still. I enjoyed it though. It's definitely worth checking out. And I didn't realize until after we saw the movie, I was like looking up stuff on IMDb. The pair of directors that made this movie previously made a couple movies that I like a lot, actually. So I guess they're my brand, if you want to describe it that way. But a movie called
I do.
Villains, which I know I recommended on this show years ago. I think it's on Hulu if you want to watch it, and it's Bill Skarsgård, Micah Monroe joint. So definitely check that out. I highly recommend that one. And then a Christmas horror movie called Body, which was on Amazon and it was on Shudder. It might still be. I don't know. But I like that one too. So pretty solid filmography. Check out Novocaine. Show it some love. And it's also got fucking Jack Nicholson's kid. What's his name? Ricky Nicholson. I don't know his name. He's
Ricky
in it.
I didn't know.
Nichols.
Ricky
I don't know much
Nicholson.
about them.
He is in it. I don't know if I like him as an actor, if I'm being honest.
Oh,
But people love him. Maybe it's a me thing. This might be a me thing. I didn't really like him in this movie. He was also in Smile 2, I think, and I didn't really like him in that. I don't know. I don't know. Something about him that I just don't. It's like I can't believe him. I don't know what it. Something about his face. I don't know.
Ray
Anyway.
Nicholson.
something.
So is it Ray?
Something about
Okay, I wasn't that far off. Ricky Ray. It's basically the same thing.
Ricky.
Ricky Ray Nicholson.
What else has he been in? I don't know if I've seen him in anything. I just remembered that I started watching Small 2, I think on a plane, and I don't think I finished it.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
He's in a new
Oh man, I
movie,
just remembered.
another new movie called Borderline with Samara Weaving. Have you seen that trailer? It's out now. You can watch it, but
No, I don't think I've
it's
seen any of his movies.
it's another it's a movie about a pop star, which is like a thing now. It's like a new subgenre or something. They're making all these movies.
Okay.
Samara Weaving plays a pop star, and this like crazed fan breaks into her house, and it's played by your boy Ricky Nicholson.
I don't like his face.
all right.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's something about
Just
I
looking
can't
at his
believe-
face
Looks
and not really
like Jack
it.
to me.
Kind
He
of, yeah,
does,
kind
he
of
does,
does.
kind
Yeah.
of, but like not as cool.
Oh, is this his? Is this his son? Oh,
Yeah, I said that.
yeah.
Yeah, he said
Yeah, Bob, that's really interesting.
Listen to me.
Rob, you got any trivia or?
Well, I'm gonna start the show. I've been waiting for a while. I gotta go to bed eventually.
Juice and I have just been shooting the shit. Where you been?
Welcome to Straight Chilling. You know how it goes. What up, nerds? Are you gonna say what up, nerds? What are you gonna say?
Glad you finally showed up for the episode, Bob.
Fucking late as usual.
That is all I have been watching this week. We have no voicemails because clearly nobody loves us anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly.
That's true.
Bob, are we gonna do Hotline Screams soon? Hey, Bob, I think it's time for Hotline Screen. I think that's next up. Unless you got some more trivia to hit us with. We got to get on to Cooter, Bob. Come on, round that trivia up.
Jesus,
So if you
Bob,
guys-
keep it
if you guys-
snappy.
If you guys do want to call and leave a voicemail for next week, hit us up at 904-638-3231. Do you guys have any prompts you want to throw out there?
I do, based on what I think next week's movie is. What is your favorite theme park? Do you have a theme park supremacy? Do you like one over the other?
Supremacy. Interesting choice of word.
Hierarchy, maybe? Just a preference. What do you like to go
Give
to?
us your power ranking.
Our rankings.
What's your power bottom theme park? Is what we want to know.
I don't know. What do you
I'd love to
think
know about
the
people's
best
favorite rides
theme
and
park?
shit.
Yeah, you've been to, boys. What do you think?
Dude,
Best
that
theme
new
park.
Epic Universe opened, or like soft opened this week, I guess, and people are
Whoa.
raving about that.
It
shit.
looks
That's the one that's got
fucking
Mario.
sick.
So it's
Yeah.
got Mario. There's rumors that they're gonna have Zelda, and
There's a
also
Universal Monsters World.
The Universal Monsters. That one of the rides there, from what I've read, is like people are saying it's like the best ride ever made. Like people are jizzing
Yeah.
their goddamn shorts.
They
over
like
this ride,
invented technology and shit for it.
For the monster
Yeah.
ride?
Yeah.
and- yeah,
Wow. Cool.
I am
I want to
excited
ride.
to go there. Yeah.
All right. Sounds dope.
Yeah. So yeah, call in about what theme parks you like to go to. Any crazy stories you got regarding theme parks? Did you get arrested at Disney? Did you puke on a roller coaster? Did you drop Molly?
Did you ever
and
catch cat fever at a theme park?
cat scratch fever?
I'm not gonna lie. Based on like going, anytime I go to Islands of Adventure and Universal when they have the Harry Potter lands, those are some of my favorite. And I wish they would just have a whole Harry Potter theme park. I would go to a Harry Potter theme park.
Epic Universe has another Harry Potter land in it.
Really? Do you know what it's
Yeah.
based on? What the theme is?
I don't know if it still is, but I think it's the Ministry of Magic. I think.
Oh, that's
Um,
not great.
The lamest.
Well, it was
option.
gonna be Paris because of those fucking Fantastic Beast movies, and then they tanked like shit.
Oh no.
They tanked like shit
They
down
did.
Justin's
They
forever cheeks.
Dang.
had forever.
It is. It's Celestial Park, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic. What? What?
Maybe it's cooler than it sounds. I hope
I
it
mean,
is.
one of them is literal Hogwarts Castle and like the little town surrounding Hogwarts, and one of them is the one that's got like the bank and all that shit.
Diagon Alley.
Diagon Alley.
Yeah, and you got the fucking Ministry of Magic.
I personally don't need another goddamn Harry Potter park. Like I would have been happy with something else, but whatever. They're not making it just for me, sadly.
Well,
I'm sorry
all
to
right.
Yeah.
report.
Yeah, calling about theme parks and shit. Next week, we are talking about the first U-Pick of the second quarter of 2025. The movie was chosen by our good friend Nicole. You recently heard her on last week's show talking about Pirates of the Caribbean. The movie is Escape from Tomorrow from 2013.
All right, I'm excited about this.
Yeah, never seen it. It'll be new. So this
Oh, yeah?
is
Okay.
This is on YouTube. You can watch it there for free. It exists on Blu-ray, but man, people are proud of those. Like, yeah, I think the cheapest I saw a used disc was like 30 or 35 bucks. Watch
That's
that
nothing
shit.
for you, Bob.
I don't think you can stream it
I
anywhere.
think you're a dude
either.
with gift cards, though, right?
Fuck that. An
Money's no
eBay
object.
gift card. Yeah. I don't think you can stream it like really anywhere. I think it's YouTube or you got it on disc, really.
All right.
So maybe that's because it was
Yeah, filmed illegally
filmed
or whatever. Yeah.
illegally. Yeah, maybe. So
How about VHS? You think you can get one of those sweet VHSs of it, Bob?
Can I get it in a cassette tape?
yeah, I'm strangely enough going to Disney this weekend. I heard that they've got
That
like,
is
people
strange.
with like trench coats on and like, hey,
Bob,
you want to get a
that's for
copy of this
children.
VHS tape? You want to get it?
Uh-huh.
yeah. I'll get you one. I'll mail it to you.
Thanks, Bob.
You're welcome. So
Bob,
check
you ever
out
seen this
Escape.
movie?
Oh my God. No. Are you being serious? Are you fucking with me?
What?
Are you fucking with me?
You've seen it, right?
Randy, you often don't pay attention, to be fair, so it's harder for me to tell if you're fucking with me than Justin. I think
What?
Dude,
Are you fucking with me?
Dude, this guy Ricky Nichols is Jack Nicholson.
Dude.
You
What?
fuck.
He's Jack Nicholson's kid?
You fucking fucks. Check out Escape from Tomorrow. Get ready for next week's show. We'll be back. We're on socials. You know all the things. You know what to do. And until next week, as always, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.